Well, first, I think he's played his butt off. I really do. I think he's competed awfully, awfully hard, other than the back end of the first game when we were down. And, that's his nature, is to try and make a play. But I think he's played awfully well. I'm sure he would say that he could play better. But in my eyes, there's a lot of things that go into that. We've got to scheme it better. We've got to play better up front. We've got to do a better job in terms of everywhere, route running, you name it. It's all of us to put ourselves in a better position to be more consistent. At times we've been choppy, and that's all of us. There's not one area, to be fixed. And again, we're close. We just got to continue to build on the things we're doing every day, and then continue to get better at it.
All right, Todd Monken talking about the Browns offense and Baker Mayfield. I've heard 5 or 6 things about Baker Mayfield, starting to people pointing fingers at him. First of all, 1-1 is an okay record to start with. I don't care how you got there. How does this one sound? Because I haven't heard this one before, that whether it's because of the play calling by Freddie Kitchens, that the play clock is getting down to 2-1-0, not leaving him any time to audible as he reads the defense. Is there anything to that?
I think that's been a little bit overblown, honestly. I think there have been cases where maybe they let the play clock get down a little bit. But a lot of quarterbacks will do that. And I do think Baker Mayfield was audibling the other night. I do think he was changing some things. I think he had time to do some of that.
Even though it looked like he was late getting to the line?
Yeah, I mean, I'll hear that they need to pick up the pace. But I do think, look at a guy like Phillip Rivers, who has kind of made a career of waiting until the play clock gets down to about 5 seconds so he can see what the defense can do, sort of force the defense's hand to show him something. Now, I don't know if Baker Mayfield is doing that intentionally or not, but I think in the NFL, that play clock does tend to run down a little lower than you see in like college or even the high school level, because they want to see what defenses can do. Now, I'd like to see more pace. I'd like to see them play a little bit faster. But I didn't worry as much about the play clock stuff as maybe some other people
another
did.
Factor about the play clock is on some of the broadcasts, that play clock that you see is not necessarily the play clock that is being used for the game itself.
Yeah.
It's the television production of it.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it can be a little bit off. And again, sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes they do want to go up to the line and make the defense show them something.
Right.
But I do know there were plays when I rewatched the game the other night. It did look like there were plays where Mayfield was audible and able to make adjustments at the line. And I was more concerned with the fact that there wasn't much motion pre-snap. There wasn't a lot of play action necessarily.
Right.
It just seemed like the offense was stale before the snap.
When you're watching it on the replay, you saw it when it happened, and you watch it on the replay once or twice. Does his arm seem weaker than usual, or is it still the strong arm that he had?
I think his arm is still there. I mean, he's still taking big shots down the field. He's still making throws that make you stop and say, wow, that was an insane throw. That was a perfect throw. I mean, the ball to Odell Beckham that he caught with one hand was a great throw.
It was a great catch.
It was a great catch, too.
Maybe a better throw.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. So he still has that ability. I mean, what I'm seeing is a guy that's a little bit, I don't want to say skittish necessarily, but I'm not sure how much he trusts his offensive line right now. He seems to be making a read and then kind of leaving the pocket or rolling out. And I think sometimes he'll see his tackle get pushed back a little bit, and he'll react to that instead of kind of moving up and moving around in the pocket like he did a year ago.
All right. Do you see anything to the assertion that he's trying to please Odell Beckham and is looking for him maybe too long? Holding out too long till he comes open?
I do think he's looking down the field a lot more, maybe than he did last year where he was getting the ball out a little bit quicker. I don't know that it's always to Odell Beckham, though. I just think for whatever reason, he's looking down the field and trying to push the ball down the field. And we're maybe that's some of that Todd Monken influence in the air raid. But the Browns have hit on a lot of big plays. It's just they've got to start hitting on some of those little things. And the timing on a lot of that stuff just seems off right now.
The running game. You like it, don't like it, wait and see?
I was actually a little surprised when I looked at the box score after the game and saw Nick Chubb's numbers. They were actually lower than I thought they would be. I actually thought he ran the ball really well when I was watching the game in real time. And he had the 19-yard touchdown run. I thought he was very effective running the ball. I don't remember off the top of my head how many carries he had. I want to say it was maybe 18, which I think is an okay number. Now, they were winning this game by 20 points. I didn't love that they threw the ball with under 2 minutes left. That's a great opportunity to just hand the ball to Nick-Chubb and let him take that hit.
It's a better opportunity to put the quarterback on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. Let Garrett Gilbert come in and throw a handoff.
Did Freddie fall asleep on that? Was there? I know he said that, we're playing 60, meaning 60 minutes, but I don't know. I think that's a bad choice to do when you're up by 20.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this with Freddie over and over again, where he'll say something and all of a sudden he lives up to it in a game. So I'll give him credit here. He always says we're not paying attention to the score. We're going to go out and play the game. I guess that's what he was doing there, practicing what he preaches, but that's also a great way to get your quarterback hurt on a meaningless play.
All you got to do is say, by the way, Freddie, that's nice you're playing 60, but take a look at Pittsburgh and New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, get those guys out of there or give them safe plays. It doesn't matter if you convert that third down. It's okay to run the ball and have to punt.
And let Gilbert have a shot or two.
Yeah, let him get some live reps.